would like to share?
Look, I've always said for 32 years, it's often not what the lawyer does in the courtroom at all. It's what the clients have done before they meet the lawyer. And that's the most important thing. It really is. And in this case, you have two tremendously fabulous, wonderful people. The greatest part of the fabric of America are these two people charged with this crime. They did what we ask people to do, act responsibly, okay, to care about the rest of us. And they did that. And unfortunately, just unique circumstances caused them to be charged with one of the most heinous, infamous crimes you could possibly imagine being charged with while they had to remain in the same community. Everybody that knew them this whole time knew that these are wonderful people. You can look into them. I mean, these are absolutely flawless people. And what happened to them was quite a flaw. It's a stain that you could probably never bleach out, if you ever bleach out off of your reputation. But what we did today was we really got justice for them. They got it for themselves before they met their lawyers, okay? But the system worked today. This judge found there was not probable cause to go to trial. Everyone knows if this had gone to trial, what we did in the courtroom, that trial would have been over immediately. So that's what happened today. We still got a little bit of fight left because there's a few hanging charges that are left, but this was the big one, and we're obviously very appreciative of the justice system working exactly how we were all taught it was supposed to work in our civics lessons in grammar school and high school.
We have a lot of respect for the judge that carefully examined the evidence, carefully examined the failures in the investigation. Mr. Reichel is absolutely right. It is very important what our clients did before they ever met us. And what they did was acted responsibly. They could have left that area without ever going near the campers to warn them.
Save their lives.
But instead, they went to the campers to warn them, to say, there's a fire, we tried to put it out, we could not put it out, you need to leave and be safe. And then they called 911 and cooperated with law enforcement. They were not behaving in any kind of a reckless fashion. So we are very appreciative that the court acknowledged that by not forcing them to go through the trauma and the stress of a trial. And as Mr. Reichel pointed out, within the community where they live, this was a very difficult circumstance. This fire generated a lot of publicity, as we know, and the community had a lot of strong feelings. So thank you.
Were you surprised by the ruling?
No, actually, we honestly felt in our heart of hearts, this is the only ruling. There's no evidence. You have a fire and you have people calling it in. That's really all you have. I will tell you though, after 32 years and the various wins I've had, I've never had the opportunity to thank my staff. And I want to thank Doug Stein, okay, Elizabeth Reichel, and Mr. John Kennedy, the real John Kennedy. This investigator and this legal assistant here worked tirelessly, mostly unpaid at times, to make sure this would happen today, and it did.
And that is how we knew so much about how the studies were conducted, what was important. It really is a tribute to their work that we were able to bring that out to the court, and I think it did affect the court's decision.
What does this mean for the defendants?
Well, obviously, this is the area that they live in. It's the area they grew up in. It's the area they wanted to spend the rest of their life in. They didn't do the crime. And it is a monstrous accusation. I mean, I think everyone knows that. And I mean, how do you get up every morning and believe that there's hope to go forward? And they did. And it just is a testament to what tremendous character they have. These are the toughest people you're ever going to meet, okay? And so what does it mean for them? One hell of a happy new year, okay? And now they still got to deal with the small little charges hanging, but they don't have to come up with $500,000, which would have been my fee to try this case.
This was a really long pre-trial hearing.
It was very long.
Yeah.
And you guys must have run up some bills.
Well, it's very significant what this family went
I have an
through.
important question.
But it falls upon the family to pay for it.
Yeah, their life savings is who paid. Their life savings. One of them retired, and as soon as he retired, he got charged with this. So basically, your life savings.
And it's very
Where do you go to get your reputation back?
Right.
Where do you go to get your retirement account back?
It's difficult on both fronts. Within their community, their own reputation, as well as the financial impact to them. It's traumatizing. Thank you.
What's next?
We come back to talk about a trial date, talk about motions to possibly set aside the remaining counts. I'm going to have a suppression motion to challenge the search to throw out the one count that's left against my client. I think there's going to be a 995 to challenge the evidence on the remaining count for the silencer against her client, and that's it.
We'll go from there. Thank you.
Do you feel like a victory?
You better be kidding me. You know, you win preliminary examinations in a very rare amount of times. It's just probable cause that a crime was committed by these individuals. I think they were begging near the end for the judge to issue this order, hoping they could then figure out what's next and get to the next chapter. They didn't get that. Is this a victory? You have to be kidding me. This is as big a victory as it gets in a human's life.
Yeah.